Welcome back to another video, and in this video, it's actually kind of a sequel to my previous video on how to program a calculator on Python. We're continuing that program, except we're making it better. So, you know, sometimes when you type, you notice that you can't put a decimal, and if you put a decimal, the answer is wrong. But when you in this tutorial, you'll find out how to fix it, as well as errors, like if you put divide by 0, like you can add a specific text that says zero division error. And anyways, let's get started. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is the source code that we're going to be using today, and there are only a few changes in it, and we're going to be using this new function called float. So as you can see, this is our previous calculator we had before in my previous video, and let me just run it for you so you can see. If I run it, it says enter your first number, 21, plus 6, and then it gives you 27. And it says thanks for using mouse and calculator. That I just added that for fun. But now, well, look, once I run this module and I put a decimal like 3.6, it gives an error. And what we're gonna be doing today is adding an error and fixes to errors. So first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to change int, and we're gonna change int because int means integer, and an integer is a whole number. So this calculator only works with a whole number. So you're basically saying, okay, I can only enter a whole number. So if you enter a decimal number, it's going to be like, what is that? So it's going to give an error because it doesn't work for decimal. So what we're going to do is a different function, and it's called float. And float basically means it works for decimals and whole numbers. So let me just change it for both. And float is also a very useful function, an essential function you use. So let me just run this. Enter your first number, 3.6. Now look, there's no error. When I put 3.6 before, there was an error, but now there is no error. So if I put addition, 3.7, and we know the answer is going to be 7.3, and it says 7.3, okay? 7.3. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing a thing where we fix an error. So if we want to fix an error, first we're gonna have to put all of this in a try loop, because we're gonna have to try all of these to see if this is an error. So there's a semicolon. So okay, it's 5:30. So I'm gonna have to indent all of these. So indent region. And now what I'm gonna do here is except. That's a function. Except ValueError and TypeError, we're gonna say print I don't know, let's just, for now let me just say enter a valid number. Oh, I forgot to add the quotes. Okay, so now we added the quotes, and it says except ValueError and TypeError. Now look, if we run this, okay, it's going to say enter your first number. Now, for example, if we enter T, it's going to say enter a valid number, and it's going to give this. And at least it says enter a valid number, so you know you didn't enter a valid number. So like you probably hit the wrong key. So now we're gonna do a different one over here on this division one. So now we're gonna add something called the zero division error, where we're gonna fix it. So what we're gonna have to do is put since this is the divide function, we're gonna have to put all of this in a try, because we're trying to see if it works. So we're gonna have to indent this region too. And now after this, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do except again, and this time it's called zero division error, and it's quite obvious because it's a zero division error. And now what you have to do here is pretty much print you can't error cannot I can't type today. Cannot not divide by 0. And guys, you can't put 0 because this is just a normal print function. And now if we run this module, it's going to say welcome to the calculator, enter your first number. Let's say 63, and then we put divide, and then let's say you put 0, it's going to say error cannot divide by 0. And again, it says thanks for using mouse and calculator. You guys can like try making that go away if when there are errors. So it says error cannot divide by 0. And yeah, that's pretty much it today. That is all. So this is the source code. Now let me just run it one more time, guys. So let me run. Okay. Now let's put a really big number like 54, and then we put minus t. Enter valid number. Now now we're gonna run it again. Enter valid number divided by 0. It says error cannot divide by 0. And as usual, again, you can use it as your normal calculator. Just do 21 times 16. And yeah, and it puts a 0.0 because we made it float, so it's always going to put 0.0 because it knows that there's going to be a decimal always. Okay, so now there's just one more thing I want to do. So this is the last thing. It's one more additional thing you can add to your calculator. It's another function, to the power of. So I don't know if you're familiar with to the power of, but to the power of basically just means one number multiplying it itself by the other number, the second number. So basically 7 to the power of 6 is 117649. Now basically what it's doing is 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, and that's 6 times because we did 7 to the power of 6, and you can see it's the same answer. So what we can do here is add this function, and as you can see, you already know the pattern. You do elif function equals to the power of, and you do this. Then you do answer equals num1 two multiplication signs num2. And why we do that is because this is a short form for this is basically means to the power of, because Python doesn't use this symbol. So if you do that symbol, it's going to show an error. So we do this. So we can also do 7, as you can see, 7 to the power of 6, 117649. Now if we do 7 multiplied by 6, so 117649, it's the same answer. So we can use that too. And this is also an important thing you use for calculations here. And then we do print answer. And then let me just run this. Run. Okay, so it says, well, and your first number, let's say 21, and then we do to the power of 2. So let's just that's gonna take really long. Hold on, let me just do a simpler one. So, well, let's do our 7 to the power of 6. So 7 to the power of 6, and we know that 7 to the power of 6 is going to be 117649. So if we press enter, it's going to be 117649.0. And it says, thanks for using mouse and calculator. And yeah.
And as always, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you learned something again, and hope you try out this program, since it was not that long of a tutorial, and you could follow along maybe, because if you had watched my previous video, you would have already had the main part of the program, and you could just follow along and make a really cool calculator. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!